time is it, y'all?
It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
Yes, it is. Y'all know what time it is.
There you go. There you go.
All right, y'all. I'm doing good. It's actually show review time. Show review time. As y'all can see, I am feeling better this week. Last week was tough, y'all. Last week I was sick. Snowstorms and sicknesses. But this week I'm feeling better. And this week, I think it's because this weekend I stayed home and binge watched some Netflix. Binge watched. The Umbrella Academy came out. And I started watching it Friday night. Because it came out, dropped on Netflix on Friday. Started watching the first episode Friday night, and I was hooked. Hooked! From the first episode. Starts out, I mean, I seen the trailer. I knew a little bit about, right? Starts out, you know, this girl's at the pool, and they're not like Russia or something. They're not speaking English, and she's flirting with this guy, and she's in her bathing suit and just, hey, Billy, or whatever his name was in Russian. And she goes in the pool, like dives in or something. Doesn't come up right away. Like you see blood, people like looking. She finally pops up. She's pregnant. She wasn't pregnant before she got in that water. Like in labor, giving birth. And had a baby. Then it says like around the world on this day, same thing happened to 45 other women, but they wasn't pregnant that morning. They had a baby by that day. So 45 people. Then this billionaire comes along and he like adopts like 7 of them. Not even adopts. What am I going to say adopts? He bought them. He was like, whatever ones I can get my hands on. He like bought the babies from like 7 of them out of the 45. And then it would just went on like, They had special powers. There were 7 of them had special powers. And he made the Umbrella Academy with their special powers, like a superhero kind of academy or whatever. But then they're grown up, right? Like throughout, like this is them kind of flashing back, really, because it's the story now is them kind of grown up. And the dad had just died, the billionaire guy, right? So the billionaire guy just died. And so you're seeing like them grown up, going through some stuff with all their powers. They're not all together no more. They ain't no Umbrella Academy no more. They're like doing their own things. And then you only see 6. First of all, you only see 6 of them. So you're like, well, what happened to the 7th? And you find out that guy's dead, right? And then you only 5 of them are like doing have the powers now. But I'm like, well, what about the 6? And she, which actually is number 7, don't have powers apparently. And then, the billionaire don't even give them names. Like, they have names, I guess, like, they eventually gave themselves names, but he just calls them number 1, number 2, number this. So, number 7. Oh, and then there was, like, another one missing, and he went missing when they were really, I was going to say his name was number 5, and they still call him number 5. I don't even think he has a regular name, because he never, like, grew up with, like, a regular name, like, he has the ability, he like goes through like space and time. So like he's over here and then he pops over here. Like he can I guess he freezes it and goes, I don't know what's going on. But with his powers. But he went missing when they were little kids. So he's gone too. So there's like only a few of like 4 of them left with actual powers. But yeah, the dad dies. And they're all doing their own thing. Like one of them is like a movie star. And she finds out the dad dies. Like she's on like the red carpet or something. And they're like, Alexa, like your dad died. And when's the last time you talked to your brothers and sisters? And then like another one's like up on the moon. Like he's doing some kind of missions on the moon. And then another one on drugs. Like that one's just, but he's my favorite one. Yeah, he's my favorite. So number 5 was one. And then number 7 is the girl from Juno. What's her name? Ellen Page. And she like don't have powers, right? She like wrote this book, I'm the Ordinary One, blah, blah, blah. So she don't have powers. But it's them then, you know, having their separate things going on now. The dad dies. So they come back together up in the house. And then the house is crazy when they grew up. The butler is a monkey that talks, or maybe orangutan, whatever. Like, but he talks. So I was like, is he even? Because then the mom, so they call her mom. They come in, they're like, hi, Mom. And she's like, hello. But she's like a robot. Yeah, you find out like she's like a robot. So she just up in there like, hi, Mom. But she's like programmed to do things. Like she's programmed to be like a caretaker and all this stuff. And some of them are just like, hi, Mom, hi, Mom. But then like the one, Diego, he might be like number 2. I always forget their numbers in that. You remember number 5, you remember number 7. The other ones, you kind of forget all their numbers. But, yeah, like, he's, like, close to her. Like, he, like, come on, Mom. Like, she's really a mom to him. And she's, like, a robot. So, like, they grew up in these crazy life. Like, with this, and the big, like, you see right away that dad don't care about that. Like, he would put things and study them and all and do all this stuff. But then they were, like the mom, robot mom came up and she's like, the kids want to tell you like good night, and he was just like, he wouldn't even look up from the desk. They want to tell you good night, and they're just standing there like wanting to tell him good night, and he don't even look up, doing this. And then so you know they like didn't give love or something from the dad, and then when they did, like the robot mom was the only one that really. It's sad how they grew up. They were just like a study. So, you know, like now they got like messed up lives. And then the one who's like the ordinary one, she would just like stick around him all the time. But right away, I'm going to tell y'all, right away I was like, something's up with that. I'm like, how? Like every single other one got powers being born on that day, except like her. I'm like, something's up with that. And she's always taking this medication. I knew something was up with that right away. Anyway, yes, dad dies. They all come back in the house, except the one that's dead and the one that was missing. But then, like, they're backing up the house, and like they go outside and bury like the dad's ashes and stuff, and like do some things and talk about him. Well, like the monkey, I think, started talking about him, or one of them did. Maybe it was Luther, or I don't remember who, because he don't hate the dad like that. And he's just like, he was a good guy. And the one's like, he was a terrible father. So they like kind of fighting. But then this boom in the sky's coming. Who pops out? But number 5. But he's like a kid number 5. Like when he went missing, number 5. And he like, you've come to find out with him, like he actually, when he went missing that day, they gave a little flashback. He's like at the dinner table and he's like, Dad, or whatever they call it. Maybe they called him Dad. Yeah. They're like, I want to time travel. And he's like, you're not ready. And he's like, I'm going to do it. Like, because like a teenager, forget you, Dad. And he like leaves the house and he starts booming through time. Boom. Just like this. Boom, boom. And then he like booms into the future. It was like, it's like 8 days in the future and the world's ended. It's like apocalypse. And he lived in this apocalypse. Oh, Lord, let me tell you, he lived in this apocalypse for like 50 some years. Nobody living there, living off like, I don't know, whatever, bugs, I don't know. And has this for like, finds this mannequin. And he's like in a love, like even when he comes back, he tracks down that mannequin that he spent 50, you remember like Castaway, and Tom Hanks had the Ball Wilson, and he would be his friend and talk to him. He had a mannequin so much when he came back into time, he like tracked down that mannequin, right? and carried a mannequin around with him. But he came back, I'm telling you, it gets even more complicated. Even more complicated. Like, I don't want to give you everything. Unless y'all want some. It gets even more complicated because then number 5 is there. And then he has like people coming after him, trying to kill him. And you're like, where's these people come from? Then they come find out when he's in the future, some lady that goes through time. And it's like this assassin, like hires assassins to go through time and kill people. Just like those people that came in trying to kill him. And he was one of those. And that's how she got back from time. Telling you so many twists and turns in this show. This show is crazy with the twists and turns. But the main thing is, like, they're all coming together, finding, like, new powers they have and all this stuff. But they're trying to, like, stop the end of the world. They're trying to stop the end of the world. Because they know it's going to happen, like, 8 days. It's an awesome show, y'all. It's awesome. Like, 10 episodes. 10 episodes, right? It ends with like, there's gonna be more episodes like that. Like you're just like, what? Like, to me, it left out like on this cliffhanger. You're just like, what? I need more. You know, like it ended like that, and they're just like, I need more, because it is just such a good show. Has the whole thing that I like, the superpowerness in it, right? You know, like the superhero type, but they're like this, they're totally dysfunctional superheroes. My favorite is Klaus, the one on drugs, because he is just, his power is he can see like the deceased, which is why he's on drugs all the time. And the dad, let me tell y'all, he like scarred that poor kid, like put him in a tomb, and all these ghosts are like, it's like, you know, he sees dead people. So like he's always on drugs just because all these dead people, like it's scary. Like if I would not want to see dead people all the time. The only one he does want to see, like his brother that died, that I told you, Brian, which, oh Lord, hit that boy's power. He had like octopus arms that came out, and he would strangle people and spit black. Like he came out of one, like when they were little, before he died and all, and they would actually go and like stop bank robberies and stuff. They were like, all right, send in Brian, and he came out. And he's like, I got him, and he's all like covered in black stuff, and you see his tentacle arms like in the silhouette. He got a power. So anyway, Klaus, who sees dead people, like takes drugs to keep people out, but he's always like, that Brian is like always right there. And then his power develops. I ain't even gonna tell y'all that, but I'm just telling you, powers develop. Y'all need to watch this show. Y'all need to watch this show. It's the next big thing. It is the next big thing, especially after today, y'all seeing on Netflix, Punisher canceled. We called this. Jessica Jones canceled. We called this. Marvel is taking all their shows to bring them on the streaming service eventually, you know. But they want to claim all their shows. That's like there, you know. They're like, that's our shows. Like, we Marvel. We're with Disney. I think they're eventually bringing there. So Netflix, I mean, they have to come with some stuff. And this new, it is good. It is so good. Leaves you on a cliffhanger. And a new, like the plot and things that's going on, it's like new and different, you know. I loved it. I love it. I can't wait for the more episodes to come out. Come on, get working on it. You better renew some Umbrella Academy. It is so good. Like you know when you like binge it, you're just like, oh my God, gotta watch it. And then it's over, and you're like, you feel like a hole's in, you know, you feel like, oh, I'm missing something from my life. That was like, oh, my Umbrella Academy, like, I need you. Where'd you go? Like, it is one of those, like, I'm having a hard time. Now, I might have to go back and rewatch them all. See if I missed things or whatever, but it is good. It is good. I highly recommend it, y'all. You know, on Netflix, it's 10 episodes, and it's an hour long each episode. So, I mean, it's not a short thing with the 10 episodes, binging these. You know, it's not. There's, hour long, 10 episodes. Oh, I'm yawning. That's why, because I was up late binging on this show. I'm telling y'all, gotta watch it. If you've seen it, let me know down in the comments. Tell me your favorite parts and all. I want to chat with y'all about it, because I got some things. We got some things to talk about. I ain't saying too much really spoilers in this. Can I talk about the girl that don't have powers? All right, no, I won't. I won't spoil for the people, but we can talk about that in the comments. So, but I won't spoil it on the video for like the ending part, because y'all. All right. Till next time, y'all, remember, subscribe, thumbs, notification squad, all that stuff. Bye, y'all.